Morning, all. All right, so news of the day video to start things off. If you're looking for the historical year by year videos, I will resume those on July the 2nd. I'm not going to be doing those right now, as just with the amount of time it takes and everything, I know they're going to get kind of buried with all the other content we're going to get between the draft and then free agency. So, news of the day video now, probably some other news of the day videos during the day today, and then tonight we'll do a review of the draft as well. But let's talk about a buyout to start things off. Cam Atkinson is on waivers for the purpose of a buyout for the Flyers. Cal Peterson's not, so that's an interesting distinction there that Atkinson's on waivers, Peterson isn't. We'll see if Peterson does get bought out. It saves the Flyers some money buying out Atkinson now, $3,516,667. It costs them for next year, of course, $1,758,333. So the final year of the contract, you then have the cap penalty tagged on for the year after, and that's how that goes. Ryan Suter has officially been bought out by Dallas. You'll notice he didn't go on waivers because he has a no movement clause. You can't waive a player with a no movement clause. So the Dallas Stars just buy him out. And so he's been bought out. It saves Dallas $2,866,667 for this coming season. It costs them $1,433,333 next season in terms of cap space. So buying out Suter makes a lot of sense for Dallas. They have a very good blue line, and there's some depth there as well, so I'm not concerned. Plus, with the savings they have here, who knows, maybe they're able to keep Tanev. I know they're trying, but the closer we get to July the 1st, the more likely it is he's just going to go to market, and if Dallas is going to keep him, they're going to have to compete with everybody else. Dallas may also take notice of somebody else who could be on the market on the 1st. This one kind of surprises me. Stamkos, unable to reach an agreement with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Pierre LeBrun being told by his agent that that Stamkos is going to market. So LeBrun reporting Stamkos is going to market. That's it. They're not going to be able to keep him. And at some point in time, I mean, for Tampa Bay, they have to do what makes financial sense. We'll see what kind of money Stamkos gets, but on the market, he's going to get paid. He can still play. His age will be a consideration, of course. I don't think it'll be like a seven year deal for him as a free agent, but he's going to get paid. He's probably going to get. I would say a 4 year deal would be fair. I'm not saying he's not on the older side, but teams are going to be competing for him, and whoever gives him the most lucrative contract will likely get him, unless that team is also able to promise him, hey, we just won a Stanley Cup. Because the first thought I had was, what if he lands in Florida with the Panthers? Because I know he's in Florida with the Lightning at this point. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Stamkos, it looks like, is going to hit the market on Monday, and that could be interesting. And of course, yeah, if you're a Toronto fan, sure, why not? Toronto, the big rumor when Stamkos was going to potentially hit the market last time was that, oh, Toronto, he's going to go to Toronto, and then he didn't. So maybe this time, right? We'll see. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think at the last minute, and of course, there's always the chance that the team circles back or the player circles back. Maybe the player goes around his agent and says, look, we got to work this out. But if he goes to market, where do you think he ends up going? And why would it be Toronto? So I'm just doing what the media does it all the time, right? So, anyways, yeah, we'll see where Stamkos lands, but he's going to be a popular one. The first thought I had is, as a Bruins fan, yes, Stamkos would be a huge upgrade to that middle spot for the Bruins for at least that one first year of that contract. So yeah, we'll see how things turn out. UC Saros is set to sign an 8-year extension with the Nashville Predators. It's a long-term contract for a goaltender. And considering how unpredictable goaltenders can be, yeah, it's a long-term contract. The cap hit approximately 7.5 million, according to, I think it was Chris Johnston I was reading that from. But yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one. And again, they can't officially sign it until July the 1st, so look for it to be announced around then. But it looks like Saros isn't going anywhere. Nashville's not trading him, nor should they. But it makes me wonder, so for Askarov, who is seen as a future starter, if you see Saros getting an 8-year extension, odds are your role with the team at best is going to be a backup role. And some goaltenders aren't all that happy with the idea of being a backup. They want to be a starter. So we'll see what happens with Saros for this upcoming season and how that affects Askarov as well. who is considered to be a very good goaltending prospect and had a pretty strong season in the AHL. So, looking at the draft, and one thing we're going to be talking about a lot when it comes to draft time and we're doing the live stream is, are they going to trade this pick? Are they going to trade this pick? And it always feels like we build it up, and then it doesn't happen. So, Columbus, I think they're going to take the pick. I think they're going to take the pick. I think they're going to take a forward. With the rumor that Levshunov is going to Chicago, that they're going to draft Levshunov second, that means Demidov drops down. And so there's going to be a really good forward available at 4. And so the question then becomes, will a team make an offer to Columbus where they're willing to move down and trade out that number 4 pick? Or is that forward, who could potentially still be there at 4, just going to be too good for them to say no to? And there are some very good forwards in this draft. A lot of good defensemen as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all turns out. But again, I don't expect the fireworks we had at the NBA draft. I did watch parts of the NBA draft. I found it interesting. Just the idea of trading a player right after you draft him is weird to me. Like, you trade the pick. You don't draft the player and then trade the player after you draft. That's just such a weird thing to do in my eyes, but that's just me. You guys can let me know your thoughts. I just feel bad for the kids. You're like, oh, look, I got drafted by, like, just imagine it, the NHL draft. You got drafted by Florida, the defending Stanley Cup champion. Oh, that's great. Okay, now that you've got the jersey and the hat, we just traded you to San Jose. Oh, well, that's different. Like, it's just, I'm not saying that these kids would be upset with that. Just, it's kind of a weird way to do things. But you guys can let me know your thoughts. The NBA does have an odd way to do things. Trading away a 2031 draft pick, for instance. I was like, 2031? But anyways, all right, enough of the NBA talk. The first 6 players have been announced for the 4 Nations Cup for all 4 of the nations involved: Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland. For Canada, it is Crosby, it is McKinnon. Better have a comma in there, or else it becomes Crosby-McKinnon, a hybrid. But yeah, Crosby, McKinnon, Marchand, McDavid, Point, and Makar for Canada. No surprise there. For the USA, Eichel, Matthews, Matthew Tkachuk. I would expect Brady to be in the next group that they announce. Fox, Quinn Hughes, and McAvoy. So not a surprise that Team USA announces 3 defensemen. One thing with the American squads, and I want to say dating back to the era of Brian Leetch, they've had really good defenses. Team USA in defense, and now with goaltenders as well. No goaltenders were announced for this, but Ottinger, Demko, Hellebuck, right there, right? So Team USA is going to be very heavy on the fantastic defense and goaltending. I could see them winning it. Sweden, on the other hand, Forsberg, Nylander, Zibanejad, and then 3 defensemen from them as well: Forsling, Hedman, and Erik Karlsson. I'm not surprised Erik Karlsson's on the team. I'm mildly surprised he's one of the first 6, although there's a lot of name recognition there, so I guess with Erik Karlsson that makes some sense. I know there's been some eyebrows raised about Marchand being on the list of the first 6 Canadian players. I can't argue against that. I can't. It is kind of a surprise Marchand's in the first 6 Canadian players. Finland, they have Aho, and that's, of course, Sebastian Aho of the Carolina Hurricanes. Barkov, Rantanen, Heiskanen, Lindell, and Saros. I am surprised Esa Lindell was one of the first 6 named. That's an odd one, but the one thing that Finland did that nobody else did: 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a goaltender. And, of course, that goaltender being the one that's signing an 8-year extension with the Nashville Predators. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you have not done so already. I do expect a busy day today and a busy night tonight as well. So thank you guys so much for all your support. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you again soon.